Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Yeah, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Catechism, Katrina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got Jerusalem, Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah,
Jerusalem.
the Promised Land.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting back into our next sermon. All right,
back sermons.
Yeah, we had a sermon in our last episode. So Next one, this week we're gonna be talking about the brand new Conjuring film, The Nun 2.
Dose.
All right, Joel, who is a part of this one?
All right, so this one stars once again Thaisa Farmiga. She was his sister Irene. She was in The Final Girls, 8 episodes of Wicked City, and 9 episodes of The Gilded Age. And then we got Jonas Bloquet. He came back as Maurice, or Frenchie from the last movie. He was in 8 episodes of 1899, Father and Soldier, and Working Girls. Lots of these titles I've never heard of before. And then we got Storm Reed. She is Deborah, Sister Deborah.
I was hoping you were gonna mention her.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's basically the other main character. Besides those two, but she was in A Wrinkle in Time, The Invisible Man, Missing, like recently Missing, and 13 episodes of Euphoria, and most recently she was in The Last of Us for 1 episode.
Oh, was she?
Actually, I think Missing did come out after that episode of Last of Us, so I guess Missing is her most recent.
Was she just in the first episode?
No, she was. Okay. She was in like one of the later episodes.
Okay.
For an episode, so
I really liked her in Missing. That's what I recognize.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
But,
get on that.
I know. I like the other one, Searching.
Yeah.
That they did. So, and this was written by like 3 people. So let's get into this. This movie was written by 3 people. It was written by Ian Goldberg. Did the screenplay. He did 28 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, Eli, and Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, 12 episodes. It may have only lasted 12 episodes, I'm pretty sure.
There was a show?
Yeah, there was a TV show for a little bit, for like a season or 2.
Okay.
And also Richard Nang, he did the screenplay. He also did Eli in 18 episodes of The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead, and also Autopsy of Jane Doe. There's a pattern here, because didn't I say that the director of The Last Nun was a director of Autopsy of Jane Doe?
I think so.
And now we got the writers in the sequel of Autopsy. And then we got Akilah Cooper. She did the story and the screenplay. And we have mentioned her a couple of times, or at least, a couple of times. She directed Hellfest, Megan, Mithrigan, Malignant. Mithrigan. Yeah. She was the writer of Malignant.
Oh, nice.
And in pre-production right now, she's also doing Megan 2.0, I guess is what they're calling it.
Mithrigan 2.0?
Mithrigan 2.0, yeah.
Okay.
And then, so the director, this is where things take a turn here. Well, I'm just saying, because he is definitely not a first-time Conjuring director.
Okay.
He's done it a couple times. So, but he did 11 episodes of a show called Chase Champion. He did The Curse of La Llorona, which is considered in the Conjuring universe.
Oh,
And
it
The
is?
Conjuring, The
Yeah.
Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so he
Okay.
did the third one too. Okay.
Yeah. So the third Conjuring movie. And I was not a fan of really either of those movies. So
Yeah.
That's where the turn comes in.
Yeah.
that's where the turn is, because they gave him a third chance for. So,
All right.
We'll get to see if he has redeemed himself with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did I even say what his name was? I don't think I.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
No,
Wow.
he did not deserve to have his name
Almost
said.
200 episodes in, and I'm just like, his name is Michael Chavez. Hold on.
Chavez.
Michael Chavez. Chaves.
Yeah.
Or Chaves,
Alright.
if you're,
Chaves.
Chaves.
Joel's
Michael
on
Chaves.
fire with the names today.
All right.
So,
For the synopsis, it's 1956. It's in France. A priest is murdered. An evil is spreading. The sequel to the worldwide smash hit follows Sister Irene as she once again comes face to face with Valak, the demon nun.
All right.
smash
Yeah.
hit.
It was a
2018's
financial.
best movie of the year. It was financially successful
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. It was a hit in that way.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that way, it's a smash hit, but
Yeah.
smash hit that nobody liked. Or a lot of people didn't like. So
let's see how people felt about this one.
Yeah.
So the Tomatometer has this coming in at 50%. It's still
Okay.
rotten.
Yeah.
mhm.
And the audience score is at 74%.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Still fairly new, so that could drop or it could go up.
Yep. So, and because it's fairly new, there's not a lot of reviews on IMDb, but so far it is coming up as a 6.0.
Pretty solid.
So not too bad
Yeah.
for the scores.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
I think the first nun got somewhere in the 5s for the
For IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I think,
in the 5s.
around something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was
All
5
right.
years of reviews. So
Right.
it,
All right, so let's get into it. So
I'm feeling a little hint of Joel's feelings on this.
Well, let's start with you, Joel. Let's start with you. I mean,
I'm just saying, I was, I wasn't like saying anything like negative towards it. I'm just saying, like, because it's new,
yeah.
Usually reviews do go down. They don't usually go up at a certain point.
Yeah.
It has been going up actually since it came out, because it was in the, it was in the 5s, the higher 5s.
Yeah.
And I checked today and it was at 6. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So it has been going up over the weekend at least.
Okay.
So, Joel, what did you think going into it?
So I wasn't a fan of the first one, so I didn't have like high expectations going into this one. I was hoping it was going to be like we haven't reviewed these movies yet, but like an Annabelle situation where the first one a lot of people didn't like, but the second one, like, most people did. I was hoping it was going to do something like that for me going in, but still had low expectations. And so, having said that, I do think it was better than the first one. I thought there was more atmosphere, there was more tension, there was more jump scares, some warranted, some, kind of cheap, cheap jump scares.
Yeah.
But there were more of them, so I actually did jump a couple of times in this movie.
Yeah, I jumped really good.
Yeah.
At one part, for sure.
And so, yeah, I mean, the story overall was okay. I don't know how I felt about Sister Deborah. They had to have this this tough, like, I don't really believe in this kind of thing sort of nun to give her a character arc to be like, oh yeah, I believe, to have her believe at the end of it. And it's like, all right, well, that's
you could kind of see that coming. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it was like from the very beginning.
Yeah, you see her like smoking and like it's not a typical nun behavior.
It was like the opening scene, and it's like, oh, Deborah, Sister Deborah again.
Yeah,
I have nothing to confess.
Yeah, the way that they ended it, I was not a fan of. The end, how they got rid of Valak, how they defeated.
So, we're not going to go into spoilers yet, but
I mean,
so spoiler, apparently they defeat the evil.
Well, I mean, I would hope that part's not a spoiler. Setting up for the Nun 3.
I mean,
Valak does, because the other one where which one is it that he shows or Valak shows up in
Conjuring 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like way later in the future.
Well, only 20 years, because I think the Conjuring's like the 70s, and this is like 56.
Is a long time.
It is.
In the movie land.
In movie land,
So that whole scene was kind of it was pretty cheesy to me, but I mean, like and that's just like the end, like that part where they defeat Valak. Like the whole parts leading up to it, like the action packed, like the last 10 or so minutes of the movie was actually pretty good as far as like thrills and there was a chase scene at a certain point. So, like, overall, it was better than The Nun, but for me, that's really not saying a whole lot. So, because I was not a fan of The Nun, so it's still as far as the Conjuring universe goes, it's still like in the middle, like bottom half for me of the Conjuring universe. So,
okay.
But it was better.
Okay.
Fair enough.
There's that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so what'd you think?
Me?
Katrina, yes.
Okay, let's see. So I, too, was like, I mean, I was so much not having high thoughts of this movie. Like, I did not have high expectations for this movie, that every time Danny was like, okay, let's go see The Nun 2. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and I kept finding other things that were much more important than seeing The Nun 2. Like,
nothing more important than the podcast. Let's get that straight.
That's true. But we did he finally drugged me to it.
He drugged you?
Drug me to it.
Yeah.
Dragged me. Well, anyway. So I was coherent watching this film. I did not fall asleep.
Oh, that's good.
We went to a good matinee, 2:00 showing.
I did find myself feeling tired and thinking, if I let myself, I could fall asleep right now. But I did not fall asleep. And it was definitely much better than the first one. I felt like it was much better. I have some beefs with both. I think I said it during the first review that these nuns just do not practice praying. Like, they are not in the practice of prayer and of using the Bible or God's word to fight against these demons.
Yeah. But when they do, it really
It really helps.
Once they do, it's like magic,
Yeah.
And so it's like, do it more, like use this.
Yeah, and
obviously this works.
like a history,
Yeah,
Irene.
yeah, and
Just-
so
I didn't even mention that part.
yeah, but the thing is like what I was thinking today is it seems like the writers don't know like the prayers and stuff, and they don't know how to write that in, so they just avoid it. And finally this time they like did have it in there, but then like it was just panning out, and so you don't know what they're saying, but you can see that they're praying,
Yeah.
or at least like show some kind of like as if they're praying. And it's like the big saving grace.
Yeah.
But I just wish that they would have more of the actual, like, that is what you do in these kind of movies. And
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
it's like, do it.
Just do it.
I mean, it's called The Nun. Like,
Yeah.
you need to have some prayer there.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that is one beef of mine. The jump scares, some of them were actually like pretty good, not like cheap, but then there were some that were like, really, that was like a complete cheap jump scare, like
Yeah.
not, and it wasn't even like a jump, it was like just this loud noise and you're just standing there and there's this
Mhm.
loud noise, like,
Yeah.
what?
Like, doesn't
Nothing
a
even
bird,
came
like
from
a
it.
crow, fly
That
by
one,
real quick? Or
I
something?
guess it was a little bit of that, but like barely. It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
up above, like,
Yeah.
like,
The-
and it was like
This
this
is the definition
huge, like,
of a cheap scare, when it's a noise that gets you, not the actual
yeah,
thing that's supposed to.
yeah.
jump
And
at
it was
you.
funny because it almost sounded like when they were filming or something, someone dropped a mic. And like they're like, oh, let's just keep that in there. That was a good sound. So there was one in particular that I remember that being, but for the most part, it was pretty funny seeing him jump. I didn't jump. I don't think I like jumped at all, but ooh, did he?
Yeah. At least once.
A couple
Yeah.
times.
Couple times?
Yeah.
Okay. I was shocked by a couple of scenes. Like, I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't, I don't know how far these movies are going to go, And so it's like, sometimes it kind of surprises me when they do something. I'm like, oh, okay. Because these Conjuring movies, especially after the first one, they've gotten pretty like safe.
Yeah, they have.
When it comes to just kind of more mainstream studio, popcorn kind of movie,
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm like, oh, okay. That's not what I expected. I didn't think that they were going to do that. So that's kind of shocking sometimes with these movies. And but so as far as what I thought, going in, just like you guys, we reviewed The Nun. None of us were like huge fans of it. It was okay. Probably one of the lesser enjoyed of the Conjuring.
I think you liked
universe.
it more than us. But
I did
not
like
by
it
a whole lot.
definitely more than usual.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Joel and I were pretty on the same.
We were pretty
page.
close.
Yeah.
I think mine was a couple of percentages lower, but
yeah.
So I didn't really have high expectations. I didn't have any expectations, really. We'll just say that. Because I didn't think it was going to suck either. I didn't think it was going to be horrible.
Yeah.
I thought it would be at least as good as the first one. And that was like a fine movie to me. It wasn't great, but it wasn't like offensively bad or something.
Yeah.
So, and it surpassed my expectations. And I thought it was pretty good. I'm not going to say it's like one of the best of the Conjuring universe, but it was better than the first one. And I would say I probably liked it more than the third Conjuring movie, Conjuring 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it more than that one.
Yeah, we didn't like that one too much.
Yeah, that one was just okay.
Yeah.
What I liked about it was some of those scenes where it was like, oh wow, okay, you're going there. It adds stakes, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because a lot of the Conjuring movies are just like, oh, there's something in the corner, blah, and then then it's nothing, right? It's just gone, or the character runs away, and then that's it. You know, nothing actually ever happens.
Yeah, there's no stakes with those movies because they are they are based on real people, like the Warrens and also like the families that they have are like real people. So they can't like kill off these a family member when the real person's still alive somewhere. Like it's just. But the Nun movies aren't based on anything, so you can go crazy. You can kill everybody off if they really wanted to.
Were there that many stakes though in this movie?
I felt like there was some. I mean, not like, you know, crazy or anything, but there were a few deaths. And
there were a few deaths. Yeah.
Okay, like usually in the Conjuring movies, nobody dies. Like nobody is actually like someone might get possessed or something, but they, you know, it's always you know, it's just like a jump scare and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
And so this movie, there was like follow up on that, and so it added stakes, and I really liked. Like the Pope's Exorcist. What I really liked about that was I liked the Exorcist, the guy.
Yeah.
You know, I liked him. I was like rooting for him. I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
And I felt that way with these characters too. Like I
with
wanted
Irene
them. Yeah, with Irene and Deborah. I wanted them to overcome.
Like loved Deborah. Like it was.
I like seeing her because I like missing, and I don't know. I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, he was like he was so excited about it the whole movie.
Oh my god,
she was really good in that one episode of Last of Us. So
really, okay,
yeah.
So, anyways, and I liked all the characters that were in the movie. I thought the character development was much better.
Yeah,
in this movie,
much better.
Yeah,
because I think the last movie they only really developed. I mean, really, I feel like they developed Frenchie the most in the last one.
Yeah, maybe Irene and Frenchie.
Irene, yeah.
The priest,
Irene.
Much of
the priest, not
anything.
much. But Irene and Frenchie were like the main people who they actually like worried about character development with.
Yeah.
This one, there were a lot of good. Even the side characters had some good character development.
Yeah, they had it like. There was stakes to it where it's like, oh, like I don't want that little girl to get hurt. Like I like her, and then her mom too. Like I don't want anything to happen to the mom, and you know the other like mean girls or whatever.
I wanted them to get hurt. I wanted them.
I know. And then one of them got like. Oh, well, I won't say, but like one of them I thought was going to, and then all of a sudden she was fine. Like, it was like,
well,
I hope these girls get killed.
They might. We don't know yet. We don't know that they don't.
Oh, because we're not doing spoilers. Yeah, I mean, what am I talking about?
We're tricking the audience right now.
They die off pretty quick. So. Yeah. You just don't know what's real and what's not.
You just gotta wait until we get to the spoiler section to find out.
Yeah. So, anyways, I like, with exorcism movies or demon movies, when you really root for the good guys, right? Mm-hmm. You really want them to win. It's not just about the scares.
Yeah.
You know, there's the scares, which adds to the tension of the movie, but that makes you root for the good guys even more.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can do that with like a demon possession movie or whatever, then that can be pretty powerful. So I thought that this movie did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Beefs that I had with it, some cheap jump scares. Some of it was a little over the top with some of the just, I don't know, stuff that was happening. It was a little out there. Like at one point the nun is like 1,000,000 feet tall and like, it's just,
well, but that's like what she is in all of them.
Not that tall. She was like, taller than a building.
She's done that before.
Has she?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She's not a real nun. She can't
It's valid.
She's an evil spirit. Like she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So actually, I have a question for you guys. Is this about the nun Valak, or is this about Irene? Is the name the nun?
The nun. Okay, for one, Valak isn't a nun,
Right?
But Valak is a demon.
Yeah.
But the like character is the nun or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Is the nun representing Irene? The name of the movie, The Nun. Is it Irene that is referring to, or is it referring to Valak?
It's referring to both.
Okay.
It's referring to
the nuns.
The Nun.
We'll get a third nun movie called The Nun: Valak.
But it's The Nun 2. So it's both nuns.
All right. There you go. Good answer. Good answer. But yeah, I just felt like some of it was over the top and some of the jump scares were kind of lame. It has that,
which is
typical formula.
It's a Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
It has its cheap jump scares like they all do.
Yeah.
Still a fun franchise, but like besides a couple of them, they're just okay. Like the majority of this franchise is not great.
It's interesting how it's like stuck around for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It has so many movies.
Mm-hmm.
But people like jump scares.
Yeah.
People don't mind them being cheap.
I think people might be getting burned Smile. We're always going to talk about Smile. We're just never going to review that movie.
I know. Just
always talk about
it.
And I'll just go back and like cut out pieces.
Yeah, we can just like put them together. This is our review.
This is every mention of Smile in any of our reviews.
Yeah. But I think, just judging from like reviews that I've seen, stuff I've read, I think people are getting kind of burnt out on the Conjuring stuff and the jump scares and everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if it continues. There was a mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
There was.
Mid-credit?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Mid-credit?
Yeah, like when it's just
it's
actors and stuff.
Oh,
it's not at the very end of the credit scenes. It's like right before they scroll down or whatever.
Oh, yeah, because after that, it showed who played the goat.
The goat. Yeah. It was actually played by an actor. It had an actor's name.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the credit scene though, before the mid-credit scene, but just the credits, the original first part of the credits, I like how they made the movie feel like it was a true story. By those end credits.
Yeah, the way it looked.
Yeah,
it was like newspaper
doing the newspapers and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool because, like you said, the first Conjurings are about like actual families or whatever, actual things, and so this like made it feel like I kept thinking like, man, this feels like I'm. Like this was a real story.
Yeah.
Like these people are real.
The music there at the credits was pretty creepy too.
Yeah.
So anyways. All right, so let's rate it and then we'll get into spoilers. Shouldn't be too many spoilers. Joel, let's start with you.
All right. I'm going to give this one just 70. Just a straight C or C minus, I guess.
70.
Okay.
Right.
70, yeah.
So were you in the 60s?
I was in I don't think I was like 67 or something like that.
Okay.
With the first one. So
okay.
This one was slightly actually, you know what? 72. What? 72.
Oh, okay.
I'll put a little bit more of a separation between this one and the first one.
Okay. Well, you almost got to my score. I'm at a 73.
Oh, okay.
I almost did 72, but I decided 73 is decent.
Besides everything, you like the odd numbers?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm trying to remember what I rated the first one.
I have no clue what I've rated any movies.
I've got them all down there for you. You can just glance.
I know.
And,
Well, I do know, I guess, technically. But when I'm on here,
yeah,
it's all just new and fresh. So don't compare my scores.
Just go with what she says. It
Just
was
go.
better than the first one. The score might not reflect that.
Yeah,
but
the
yeah, exactly.
The score
I don't
only
even
depends.
know why we do a score.
I know. The score only depends on how I feel in the moment that you say, what do you score it?
Yeah.
That's when I come up with the score.
All right.
Bam.
It's a very strict process.
Yeah.
I said at the very beginning of the podcast we should create a rubric. The rubric has not been created.
And where's the rubric at?
So until there's a rubric, I will just be
All right. Well, I'm going to go 79.
Okay.
Not quite in the 80s. I think 80s are reserved for movies that
good
are
ones.
a little more
Is
memorable.
it better? Yeah.
Yeah, a little more memorable. Something else I really liked. I did like how it ended. I thought that was pretty clever.
I
the
thought
way that they did it.
Yeah, and I thought the defeating was much better than the first one.
I will say it was better than the first one because the first one didn't make any sense at all. How she had the blood of Christ in her mouth as she's getting strangled.
Yeah.
But so it was better, but it was still kind of lame.
Yeah.
To me.
I could see how someone could say it was cheesy for sure, but
It was.
I thought it was cheesy, but
it's
I liked
Conjuring.
it.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. I don't know. All right, so we got 72, 73, and 79 for the Nun 2.
Okay.
All the
And
70s.
now, let's get into the spoilers. Yeah.
There's a better
Spoiler
sound for that. Get into the spoilers. Just doesn't quite match up with.
Yeah, I know. I can upload other sounds, so I should probably do that.
You said that. I think
Yeah.
we should listen to how many episodes you said.
Every
I should probably
time.
do that.
I never think of it until we're actually doing it. And I realize, oh, yeah.
That's helpful.
So, anyways, what do you guys want to talk about with spoilers?
I want to talk about something.
Okay.
So the ending, so the way that they defeated it. Here's the thing. I appreciated that they pulled in. So my defeation when I'm thinking about
Your what?
Your defeation?
What? Definition?
No.
Defense?
When I'm thinking about defeating, like
okay.
what I mean by
Defeation.
oh my gosh, okay. So okay. What I mean when I'm thinking about how they actually defeated it is when like the wine, was kind of like the blood of Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
I liked how they had talked about it before in Deborah's lack of faith and like, when the priest is saying that he can turn wine into blood and, and Irene saying it's an act of faith. You have to believe. And it's not really saying it's symbolic, but saying like it's because of your faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they bring that back. I liked how they brought it full circle.
Yeah.
And then they both had to pray. And I mean, probably the most corny line in the movie of it was a miracle.
Yeah.
That was a miracle.
That was a miracle.
Like, oh my gosh.
Like, dude, you just saw for the last hour, you just saw all this crazy stuff that could not be explained. And then I can't even remember what it was that you said.
I know.
That was a
What
miracle.
That was a miracle.
That's what you said.
Oh, it was
miracle?
when
Yeah.
she wasn't burning or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so
I guess
the
that's
fact,
pretty noteworthy, I guess.
yeah, but still, I mean, she didn't even need to say it.
Yeah,
Like
no.
we all
Yeah.
are recognizing that Deborah is seeing this.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
I don't think we needed to hear Deborah actually say,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
that was a miracle."
Yeah.
Like
It's a miracle.
I think we already got the point
She's
that
like
she
screaming.
was figuring
It
it
was a
out.
miracle.
Yeah, and she said it all calm and like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to have a talk now. Like, and so then it came back to that conversation, but it was almost like it was like meant to like remind us of this conversation.
Yeah.
And then they pray. Finally, they prayed, and the wine was the blood, and that's what defeated it.
Yeah,
because the barrels exploded somehow.
Yeah,
and, got all over.
So
the power of the blood,
the body and the blood.
Oh, stop!
So I understand the whole I was raised Christian, and so I understand the whole communion, wine, and body of Christ and the blood of Christ. It's all symbolism. It's not real.
Yes, I know.
So them praying over wine, turning that into the blood of Christ is just it's ridiculous. It's like
it was kind of dumb. Yeah.
It's one of those, we don't know how to end this thing, so we'll just say that the wine's blood now. So that's gonna So
it is kind of dumb, but I like that they at least they had premised it from the beginning.
Yeah, they brought it back.
It was a full circle kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't out of nowhere.
Yeah. It wasn't just I'm going to pray now, and then, the wine, that's the blood of Jesus. Oh, okay, that's how she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a reference.
There was a talk, but that was the whole symbolism talk. She didn't actually think that the wine could turn into the blood of Christ, like it ended up doing. But this is the second Nun movie so far, and I don't understand, because we saw how Valak was defeated in The Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
by
them saying Valak's name. And
yes,
like, why don't they just try that? Like,
I know. I have thought that too. But the thing is I was thinking that at this movie, and then I was like, well, they haven't figured that out yet, right? Because this is before. This is 20 years before.
They figured out the name, but they didn't figure out.
No, they haven't figured out that they have to say that. Yeah, maybe these. I mean, in the 50s, maybe they didn't know that you all you have to do is say the demon's name and pray and actually use the Bible. Like, they haven't figured this out yet. Right now, it's all about relics. They need to have the relics.
And who knows if that even worked, because, like, we haven't seen Valak in recent Conjuring movies, but they did set up something at the end of this movie.
Yes,
is that going to be another Conjuring movie, or is it going to be the Nun 3? Like,
I know. Well, the thing is it didn't work because in Conjuring 2, it was back. Yeah. But here's the thing. I did also like the connection of St. Lucy with Irene. And we were talking about does that also connect Irene with Lorraine? Because both of them have those visions, just like Irene's mom did. And St. Lucy is all about the eyes, you know. And so are they all descendants of St. Lucy?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wonder if they're going to make that connection. Maybe they're sisters.
And or maybe Lorraine is Irene.
Sisters,
because it's been 20.
I just got that.
There's a 20-year difference between the Nun and the Conjuring. So maybe
I thought that at one
Irene
point.
leaves the church and becomes Lorraine.
Okay, so
which
I
would
had
explain why
thought
Valak is in the Conjuring too.
Yeah, yeah. I had thought that when we were talking about, when we were like in the theater, we're like, oh, and I had thought about that, but then I thought, wait, they have different names. So, but maybe you're right. Maybe because
she can
she
change her name.
decided to come, and because she decided to come out of nunnery. I don't know.
Leave the church for.
Yeah,
I don't know why she
then
would
she
at this
changed
point,
her
because she's
name.
seen so many like miracles, and she's like
Oh
been
my
a
gosh,
miracle, and it's like, why would you leave
But
now?
maybe
Like,
because they keep calling her into these things, and she's
Yeah.
like, "No, I
she's
need
like, I
to be
don't want
done."
to come back.
She tried to say no,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah,
Because
but
they are
I do
sisters
think
in real life, and they do look alike. So.
Yeah.
maybe
I do think they have to connect it though.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
definitely setting that up. There has to be something there.
Yeah. I was hoping that maybe she left being a nun and hooked up with Frenchie, and then Lorraine is her and Frenchie's kid.
Yeah, but
it's
Lorraine's
not
like in her 40s
far enough.
or so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Actually, that would work. That Lorraine is Irene.
Yeah.
That actually works the best.
Yeah. Well, what is really her sister,
or like a cousin, or I mean, well, there's a 20-year gap there.
Sister.
I mean, it can't. There's a 20-year gap there. Like it can't.
They're sisters in real life.
I know,
but
I don't think there's a 20-year gap
Irene
in real life.
about having a sister.
No, she doesn't.
I don't think Irene has a sister. I mean, she has a lot of sisters, but she doesn't have a sister. But no, I think Joel is on something. I'm jumping on Joel's
bandwagon.
All right, the Joel wagon.
Yes,
Joel. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if they're gonna like. I will probably find out when the Nun 3 comes out in the next 5 or 6 years or whatever. Since that's how long it took them to do this one.
Yeah. So save this episode. I'm agreeing with Joel that Irene is,
or we could find out in Conjuring 4.
Yeah,
if
we could.
If they're at least related in some way.
The movie is clearly connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get
it's definitely connected.
We got
scene.
the
mid-credit scene, which I don't know.
I was seeing stuff like, "Oh, make sure you stay for the mid-credit." Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah, for this, like, okay. Cool.
Like, and I already knew a fourth Conjuring movie coming out.
Yeah.
So that wasn't anything.
I feel like
special.
I've seen that scene before too.
Yeah.
Like I swear I've seen that.
But this one's This one was connected to the Nun movie, though, not like an Annabelle movie where that does make sense to have them in it because they have the Annabelle doll.
Yeah.
So for this to be the mid-credit scene of the Nun makes me think that we will get some answers in the next Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So we know now. Oh, and there was like this chick. There was this chick in the mid-credit scene. There was this chick with brown hair that I didn't know who she was.
Lorraine?
No, she was younger, and I'm like,
the daughter?
Maybe that's the girl. Do they have a daughter?
Yeah, they have a daughter.
Oh, okay, that's probably her then. Never mind.
Her daughter would be like in her 20s, 30s at this point. If that was
that works.
If that was Irene, which no, it's not gonna. No, it won't be possible. Yeah, I think she's only like 10 or something in The Conjuring. But yeah, so I don't know.
All right, it's getting too confusing for me.
Irene is Lorraine. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, we're just sticking with it.
We'll see if that
because she's in her 40s, so I mean,
it
is
possible.
It is. I mean, no, it is possible that
she left. She left the church 5 years after this happened. This happened. She tried to stick in. Then she left. She met her husband.
Mhm.
I bet you.
She left for the fame.
She met her husband and she fell in love, and that's what made her leave the church. She wanted to get married.
No, actually, if we go back to The Conjuring 3, there's nothing about her being a nun or anything, and it does show how they fell in love and everything. It's really corny. But
yeah, they do have a
show
love story in that.
Whole, what's that called?
Oh yeah.
The oh my gosh, what is that called?
I don't know.
Where they sit under the thing.
The pergola?
The pergola or gazebo.
Gazebo.
The gazebo where they danced or whatever. And
wait, is it like a Sound of Music kind of thing?
So
well, that's nuns.
Yeah.
Maria.
So yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe she left the church for a different reason and still ended up.
She left the church. She was getting sick of it.
Getting sick of it. She decided she could make a lot of money with her visions and stuff. So
yeah.
Well, maybe that is. Yeah, I don't know.
She
Who
left
knows?
For the fame and the money.
Who knows why she left the church? We just know she did. She changed her name to Lorraine. She met her husband. She got married, and she started The Conjuring.
Adding a backstory to a real person. Like,
yeah.
This just didn't happen to the real Lorraine.
I was reading things about how horrible of people they are, the Warrens.
I heard
they're really
they're fake and
they're fake and they take advantage of people and
I could
for
see
money
that.
And everything. Yeah,
I could see that.
I can totally see it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't have to think of them as real people. These are just movies.
Yeah. I mean,
and
Irene's not a real person.
If my prediction comes true, then they're totally going off the rails with her backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, she's dead in real life, so have fun.
Oh
go
yeah,
for
so
it.
they can start making
they can
it
totally
all
do whatever they want.
Yeah, see,
whatever.
this is perfect. It's all adding up. All right. This is what, if they do that, I'll raise my score for this movie.
All right.
Nice.
Bring
it full circle, and you got a score for Pete.
Yeah, it would be cool.
That's part of my rubric.
For them to, for them to connect these movies more so than they have been, make one of the movies affect something that's happened in the past or something that happens in the next film or something. Make it and crossing over to even Annabelle movies make it that'd be cool.
So the reason that the Curse of La Llorona is a part of the Conjuring universe is they do mention the Annabelle doll, but they also they bring the character from the nun, the father, I forgot what his name was. He's in the Curse of La Llorona.
Oh.
So
I haven't seen
that's another. I've seen it once and it was a while ago, so I probably need to watch it again if it's part of this universe at some point. But so that was a way for them to connect the Curse of La Llorona in with the nun, and then the nun's going to be connected to the Conjuring, and then the Conjuring is connected to Annabelle. So it's all
but I guess they're connected. But what I mean is something happens in one movie that affects the other movies.
That's the thing is that's why I raised my score for the original Nun. Was when they
the end there.
Did that ending of showing
Frenchie
in The Conjuring 2?
One. Yeah.
The only thing is I kept thinking about that. Yeah. I
kept
thinking
Nun
about
3
that.
And
what was that? I want to go back and watch it and be like, what, were any of those things discussed in, because they discussed all the places he'd gone. He'd gone to Hungary and Romania and all these different places. And so was one of those things one of the ones they mentioned?
Yeah, maybe.
Because they had pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't show anything like that in in this one.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know when that video.
Maybe it hasn't happened
He's-
yet. So.
Yeah,
Well,
hasn't happened in the Nun films.
yeah,
yet.
but he was saved from it.
Yeah.
So
Maybe not.
Yep. It'll
I
come
don't know.
around.
Alec does come back, obviously.
Yeah. You gotta say her name. It's such
Yeah.
it's such an easy thing to do. Just like, because
Really
it is a really lame. The other reasons have been lame too, to get rid of her. But that's probably the worst. Like, that's just like, just say your name. Okay. But I don't even think they don't think they said Valak in this movie. They
No,
mentioned
not
her
this
once in the
Not
first
at
one.
all.
Yeah, not
They didn't
at all
mention
in
her at all in this one. They
Nope.
showed her more in this movie than they did in the first
They
one,
did.
which I appreciated. But it was still like, she's still a background character in these movies, which is like, she's the reason they did a spinoff, because she was scary in Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
And then she's just going to be a background character for her own spinoff
movies
franchise.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. See what happens.
All right.
Conjuring 4. We'll see if we get any answers.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's it.
This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Frenchie bite.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Deborah.
Don't let the
Oh,
Frenchman
Deborah.
bite.
He
Because
should.